Welcome to the live stream here for McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neil. That's Tyler.
What it is, sir?
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing better than you are today.
Yeah, I'm afraid the beginning of a migraine coming on. But
it is what it is.
It is what it is. A little weather, tired, kind of hit a wall this week. I could feel the wall getting hit Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was like, that's not good. But
we got a super chat. We'll go ahead and start before we crank the audio file up.
Okay.
In the Cooper Chevrolet chat, our good friend Austin Blansett says, "I'll out myself here. If you're wondering who's going to have to snort Claritin, it's going to have to be me." Thank you guys for the help. Much love. I did go buy stock in Claritin over the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I figured that would be going up. I got a lot of comments on the snorting Claritin. And my dad sent me a text about he understands now what the difference is between cat hot and snake hot.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Big difference. A lot of Austin. You got the fans of chattering about you. That's for sure. That was good stuff.
No doubt. All right, we'll get rolling here. Kane Womack's going to join us momentarily. We'll make our picks. Got lots of life advice to give. Got a sponsor for life advice. I'll give you more details on the sponsorship next week as we get it going. We got it all worked out this morning. So anyway, we'll get all that to you here in a moment. Welcome into episode 129 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neil McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Thursday afternoon, just after 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. No longer Central Daylight Time. It's now Central Standard Time.
I typed that today, and I remembered you telling me that, but I could not remember if you told me which way or the other. So now I know we're in CST mode, right?
It's CST. For the next about 5 months.
Okay.
CST. And then when we go back into daylight savings time, we'll go to Central Daylight Time.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Well, dude.
Look at him. On time.
On time. We'll get to the rain and the Cooper Chevrolet chat right after Kane. I miss my buddy. We haven't talked to him in, 2 weeks now? He's back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, joining us today, straight from Mobile, Alabama, fellow 3-time world champion, the head football coach of the South Alabama Jaguars, Kane Womack. Kane, how are we doing, my friend?
Good to see y'all, man. Been a week or two, right, since we've been on?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. Been 2 weeks.
You're finally back to playing on Saturdays like normal people. Been playing Tuesdays, Thursdays.
Just playing days.
Just days. Kept waiting to play like on a Wednesday morning or something. They do that in basketball. Basketball, like the thing kicks off and it's like, hey, why don't we do all day programming? Well, let's go at 6 a.m. Why not?
Little kids breakfast special.
Yeah, the very early breakfast special.
Dude, how's the weather down in Mobile? Because it's cold and rainy up here.
I'm telling you what, I cannot. You can't put your finger on it day by day right now. It was hot this morning. I mean, I would say arguably warm. I mean, it was really warm. And here we are on November 9th. You know, a couple days ago, it jumped down into like 39. And here it was like 81, you know, today. It's all over the place. So we've got guys that are, you know, Corey got sick the other day. He's, you know, got the sniffles, all that stuff. He's like, man, this weather. He's like, it's cold one day, it's hot the next day, you know. So
you know what I remember about Mobile, the weather, other than it was always pretty hot, always pretty humid, but when it got cold, it was that bone-chilling cold.
Yeah. Oh, there's so much
because there's so much
humidity.
So much dampness in the air. I mean, I've told people this: the coldest I ever got covering a game was in Baton Rouge. It was LSU Auburn. It was a night game. Press box was open. And man, it was cold. It was only like 40-something degrees, but that wind coming off the river, it was so bad that I was like, look, screw it. I'm too cold. I mean, I was too cold. I couldn't type. I went down and bought an LSU blanket. I did. I bought a blanket and it all curled up. As soon as it was over, I just gave it to an LSU friend that lived in the neighborhood. I'm like, here you go, Merry Christmas. I'm like this whole. I'm trying to be objective and stuff, but right now it doesn't matter how purple or gold this thing is. I'm not going to make it without some help.
Just get warm.
Well, I tell you this: when I came down here from Indiana, I mean, obviously it's chilly in Big Ten country and all that stuff, but I came down and went downtown like one evening, and you get the wind and the humidity, and I was like, wow, I haven't felt this cold in a while. You know what I mean? And I had been in Bloomington, Indiana. It was kind of interesting. So,
all right, I got a key. You like that? Key question for you here, boss man.
okay.
On your way to work this morning at probably 3:15, on your way to work this morning, what was on the radio as you were driving in this morning? What did we listen to this morning?
I put my own stuff on usually when I'm driving in and all that stuff, but we're 4 and 5 right now, so I'm listening to like audio self-help books and stuff like that instead. But if I'm not listening to stuff like that, I'm a big Coldplay fan. I love Coldplay. I listen to Coldplay music. I'm a huge fan of the Beatles.
Have you seen Coldplay in person yet?
I have. So Matt Shadid, you guys both know him. He's our assistant head coach, director of athletic performance. We did a what Matt would call a YOLO moment, and you only live once. And we bought first row tickets to Coldplay in Atlanta last year. And we went night early, had a great steak dinner, went and played golf, hung out by the pool, rooftop pool the whole day. Like we did it big, you know what I mean? And then watch Coldplay that night. It was unbelievable. Like when you see them in person, and I've heard people I'm not like a concert guy. I've never really been. But like talking to people that are like concert people, they're like, you've ruined experiences for yourself by going to Coldplay first.
That was me too. Wasn't a fan, and my girls were like, we wanted to go see Coldplay, and we went to Houston to see them. My brother lives there, and I went from I don't like Coldplay to oh my god, I love Coldplay. I mean, it was incredible, an incredible show. I mean, they're super interactive. It was amazing. It was really, really good. I was blown away. I had zero expectations and was just wowed.
Have you been to any concerts at the Wharf since you've been down there?
No, I have not. But I've gotten invited a couple of times, and it's just, schedule and all that stuff. You get things tied up, but I would love to go see one down there. It's a pretty cool venue, right? I mean,
yeah, one of our booster friends that you know too, that's and as well. I'm not going to out him. He listens to our show. He hooked me up with. He's got a box, I guess.
Really?
Yeah, and I went to go see Dave Matthews at the Wharf. That was on point. That was fun.
I bet that was cool.
All right, I got this. This came up yesterday. Bob Rucato, our guy from Monster Energy, we were talking to him. His son plays quarterback, and he had a conversation with his coach. And I was like, you know what? That would be a really cool because you just went through a similar situation. I said that'd be a really cool conversation for the fans to get to know a little bit about it. So this is kind of a 2-part question. So the first part is, last Thursday against Troy, you had to go with your freshman, Gio Lopez, who big fan of, by the way, just in case you needed somebody else to tell you that. I'm a big fan.
You've told me that many times before.
Yes,
I'm in agreement with you.
At what point in time during the week, because it was kind of hush hush, but what point in time during the week did you know that you had to go to him as a starter? Like a lot of fans hear the game time decision and things like that. Like what point of the week did you say, you know what, he's got to be our starter this week?
Saturday night that week before. So after the game, Carter got banged up right there at the end of the game the week before. And I had already, I knew getting ready to play Troy, we were going to have to scramble some, in the pocket and out of the pocket to extend plays. And, we were knowing that, and knowing that Carter even limited on some level to be able to go in, we had to go with somebody that could escape. And, Gio's got great pocket presence. That's kind of, I knew he would be able to escape and get himself out of jams some and all that stuff. I mean, they only sacked him one time in the game, and they were averaging almost 4 sacks a game. And so really it was even the sack, it wasn't a drop back, it was an RPO that they bid on it and broke, and he made a great decision to not throw the RPO. He was halfway through, and then by the time he turned around, he was already sacked, and that was the only sack that he gave up. So
was that the one that would have been a pick six if he had let it go?
It would have been a pick six. Yeah. I mean, they jumped it. We got an unbalanced formation, and we had the bubble out there, but we couldn't block the guy that pulled the trigger. And so he would have gotten in the path. And so Gio made a great decision. I mean, literally he was pot committed halfway into his throw and then held it and then got sacked. But no, I knew that week. I mean, that's a tough decision. You got your all conference starting quarterback that's out, and that, you gotta roll with this freshman against the best defense in the league. We kind of played some, we put on a pretty good acting job that week, and tried to keep people off keel and off balance, so that we give ourselves the best chance to let Gio trot out there and get a bit of an advantage there. So
you did a great job of keeping it quiet, because somebody texted me on Wednesday and said, "Hey, is Carter going to play?" I was like, "Well, I guess he is. I mean, Kane hasn't said anything to me that he's not." So yeah, you kept that one a little tight to the vest.
No. Well, we really it was a team effort there. So we put I guess I'm telling on myself here a little bit, but we had him the Monday, or excuse me, that Tuesday practice. He wasn't going to go the whole practice, but he wanted to dress out and be out there. And so I had him take 3 reps and pat and go, and we filmed it and put it out on social media like just a normal Monday work day, you know what I mean? But here's Carter getting in his drop and throwing the ball, which is the only thing he could do, right? So we do that. Then we have him be the person that goes and speaks to the media on Monday, to kind of be like, this and that. And
so I saw that. And so it was a member of the broadcast team that texted me, by the way, before, because I do know the other coach too. It was a member of the broadcast team that texted me. I don't want anybody to think Summerall's texting me or anything. But he says, "Is he going to play?" I was like, I don't know. I said, I haven't talked to Kane about it. And then I went and read the media report, and I saw that Carter talked to the media. And I was like, either Kane is doing the best, get you some of the, best sneaky job, because he said, we'll just have to wait and see for Thursday night. You know what I mean? And I was like, it was drama. So I had to tune in and see.
Now, to be fair, I did tell the TV broadcast team, because I want them to have a chance to get ready for it and tell the story and narrative and all that stuff the way they need to it. So I told them in confidence, and, you tell the team to try to keep it under wraps, and that's always hard. I'll be honest with you. I would love to just have a blanket, you got to announce this person is doubtful, this person's questionable, this person's a go. I really do. I wish they would do that like the NFL. But until they do, I'm going to play the game, you know what I mean, any way that I can play it, because it does give us an advantage to not give away, especially when you've got, Carter and Gio. They're very different, you know what I mean, in how they play. And so,
I love Carter. I think his arm talent is unbelievable. I'm a big Gio fan. He's for those of you that didn't get a chance to watch the game, I got in trouble for watching the game on my phone during my son's game last week. So you got me in trouble, Kane. Thank you. Yeah, they played on Thursday night. I watched the entire game, and people were like, well, "Why are you watching?" It's like, I'm watching this game. This is like watching paint dry. It was bad. I mean, Oxford was beating the bejesus out of them. So I was watching the game on my phone. But anyway, Gio, I got to be careful saying this, because I don't mean that he's the same guy. But if you watch him play, he's like watching a more athletic, more mobile version of Tua. And I don't mean to put that on him. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to put that on him. Maybe it's because he's left-handed and he's got the same motion. I don't know. But his balance and body control, dude, this guy got knocked around. On the big play, he completed a really critical play down to the 3-yard line and scrambled, and he cuts the ball.
Oh, that was the late third quarter play?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a big-time play.
And the anticipation and things like that, and he's just going to get better as time as his first start. So,
yeah, man, that was a hell of a first assignment. Hey, go play at Troy against a really good team.
Go get him, big boy. How was that conversation?
On a short week. Have at it. And it's going to end up helping him down the road. It just
it's going to help a ton. You know what I mean? It's huge for his future and all that stuff. And I'm, John and I are close. And so once we get to game day, before we even got out there for stretch and stuff, like I talked to John and I'm like, Carter's not going to go tonight. I was like, we're going with the young guy, the freshman. And you could kind of like see it on his face. He was like, oh, sorry about that. It's like one of those. And it was like, you know what, man, like, we're going to see what this youngster can do out here. And a lot of it is he may not win us the game, but I just want to see how he handles it. And that dude, pregame, man, like that dude, he might have been a duck on water. His mind might have been spinning, but just to watch him in pregame prepare for the best defense in the league for his first ever start as a true freshman, I was like, this dude's just got it, man. He's got that it factor.
It's going to be good. What was the in the last question on this, and this is not even a question. I did not notice when I've seen him throw before that he throws a lot of times without the laces.
Yeah.
That I saw it live. The ball, he throws a ball out to the flats. It was the first time I knew it. He on a flare, somebody that the running back got hurt. It was the one that somebody got hurt. And I was like,
yeah,
he didn't have the laces right there. And then I started watching it. And does he do that all the time? Or is that just something in a quick game that he just grabs it and goes?
Quick game. You know what I mean? He'll get it out. He's got such a quick release, and he's a pretty good decision maker. I mean, especially
laces, Neil. So instead of having his top of his hand, had his thumb on the laces, throwing left-handed.
Oh, yeah, so, it's kind of interesting.
How was that conversation with him when you brought him in to let him know he was starting?
So I called him that Saturday night, and then I brought him in Sunday midday or whatever, and was like, hey man, like this is happening. Like you're QB1 this week, and and I was like, I did most of the talking on the front end. Like, here's the expectation. Here's what, whatever. Kind of, I want to paint the picture first. And then I kind of paused. I was like, so, what do you think? What are you feeling? And he's like, he's a very like just even keel. He's kind of got this deep voice. He's like, I'm excited. And I was like, yeah, you are. It was a special moment. It was like fun to watch a freshman go out there and be like, yeah, I can handle this. I'm going to go play Troy, for a big, massive game and all that stuff. And, that'll pay off in the future. I mean, I would have loved to have won the game and had we made a couple more plays, we were right there in it. But that'll be one that, for his future and our future, it'll pay off.
For sure. All right, last thing, I'll get you out of here. Got Arkansas State Saturday, 4:00.
Red Wolves. The Red Wolves.
Yeah, got a lot of family history in your family with the Red Wolves and mine. We didn't play South though when I was there. They were not in the league, but want to get your thoughts on this. You're entering the fourth quarter of the season, which we call the fourth quarter, last 3 games of the season. What is kind of like how important is the head coach and his coaches and players because you're in this grind? How important is consistency in the process from a coach's perspective and the players heading into the fourth quarter of the season?
Yeah, good question. By the way, Arkansas State really playing well right now, by the way. I mean, I think coordinators are in year 3, Butch year 3, got a young quarterback that's doing some good things. I think they're doing some really good stuff. I mean, offensively, defensively, special teams, playing some complementary football, pretty impressive. So that'll be a good test going into the first game of the fourth quarter, as you say. There's a fine line of consistency in your practice schedule and all the things you're doing, and you want to also kind of keep it fresh, keep it light. Can you pull back 1 or 2 things here? Can you keep things kind of fresh and alive so the guys don't feel like we're in this monotonous, just turntable. But at the end of the day, right, you're looking for consistent, product on the field. And, that's something that we have not done, consistent this season. I mean, we have not played consistent football across the board. We haven't played responsive football, from a defense, offensive perspective, not always being complementary to each other. But at the same time, the practice habits and the process habits, those don't change, right? And so you got to find ways to keep things fresh and maybe make some changes to your practice, adjustments and all that stuff, and yet at the same time get the consistency of the execution in practice. So those things are they're a challenge, but I don't think you want to just do the same thing that you've done for the last 14 weeks. You know what I mean? If you include fall camp, because it just becomes stale and monotonous.
Yeah, there's always this. And you hit the nail on the head. Is there's a fine line between going. You want to keep it fresh, but you don't want to show like, oh, we got to change everything we're doing because, that also, demonstrates to players, well, what we were doing is not working. It makes sense. Like there's this.
Sure, yeah. You can't do that. I think it's more about like peeling back. Hey guys, we're going to do this special teams period, but we're not going to run down the field on kickoff live. You know what I mean? And I'm going to throw a fun trick play in here so that we can work something, you know what I mean? And keep it fresh, get them focused on something. You almost like, especially with special teams, you have to kind of have a cause, you know what I mean? Hey, punt block team, here's a cause. Here's a block that I think we're going to be able to get on them, or here's a return I think we're going to be able to hit, or something like that. So those are the things that, you just find creative ways to give something for the guys to rally around during the week of preparation.
And no doubt. Well, brother, I appreciate the hell out of you. Tell my man Batoon that he needs to suck it up. Give him a BC powder. He'll be ready to go. Tell him he's got to suck it up. He'll be all right.
Batoon's a tough one, man. He'll figure it out. Although he does not like any kind of cold weather. I mean, that dude's born and raised on the island, man. You know what I mean, in Hawaii. And it's so funny. Like he'll as it gets chilly, he'll start like asking for us to go outside more. He's like, hey man, it's really sunny out there, instead of going in our covered indoor, you know what I mean? Because he just wants to be out in the sun, you know what I mean? He doesn't want to be cold,
He is one of the very few people on the planet that hate cold weather worse than I do.
He really does, and I'm the opposite. Like I love cold weather, but
I don't know. Like Neil does too.
I do too.
I cannot stand cold weather. Like that was one of the biggest perks about being in the box. Was when you're in the box, it doesn't matter. Were you on the staff, or was this the year before you got there when we went and played Texas State in a hurricane?
Wait, at Arkansas State. At Arkansas State.
South Alabama. Were you back as a DC? I mean, driving. I mean, like it rained 4 inches.
No, I was not there for that game. I remember y'all talking about it, but I wasn't. No.
For some reason or another, they were worried about the headsets going out on defense, and so everybody was on the field. I was literally, me and a GA were the only two people in the box, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to come down?" I was like, "Nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good right up here. I'm good. Thank you. I'm good. It will figure it out. If it goes out, then I'll come down. It didn't go out, thank goodness. But yeah, we literally played in a legit hurricane. Came over Mexico. It was still like a Category 1. They shut down the whole campus, but we still played the game. There were like 15 people in the stands, and their kids were on the field.
Yeah, I was going to say you got to be pretty dedicated as a fan.
And we were not very good that year. So it was like October, or it was late in the year, and it was literally it was brutal. So I appreciate the hell out of you. Good luck on Saturday.
All right, thanks guys.
Jay's up.
Jay's up.
All right, babe. See you, man.
See you.
My man.
That was Kane Womack on here on the show. It's a show. I've got the wrong screen up, which is not a surprise today.
Hey, man, we're going to do it.
That I'm a little off my game.
No, you're not.
As of this moment.
Only if you claim it.
Brought to you by Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, and zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more.
Neil, I'm rocking. As you know, it's Thursday, and yes. I got the Red Dragon, and I'm damn near done. So we're just going to have some fun here with life advice and picks here in a second. And guys, appreciate everybody in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, and remind everybody that Cooper Chevrolet in Anniston has received just received 15 brand new 2023 Chevy Tahoes that are discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. You can contact Cooper Chevrolet at 256-236-4481. These will sell fast. Make sure you call Cooper Chevrolet 256-236-4481. Neil, do you know what time it is?
It's time for me to go ahead and blow what's left of my lead.
You
Right
actually
here.
gained a lead last week.
I understand. You asked me what time it was. I was explaining to you that I knew.
It's
what
time for Make It Rain Thursday. Neil, going into this week, you have a 6.92 unit lead. We have a ball game. Here we go. Do you want to start them off, or would you like me to start
It's
them
up
off?
to you. Totally up to you. I'm putting the link in, by the way.
Okay. Neil is going to put the link in for betonline.ag. If you guys would like to play along with us, it doesn't matter where you're located. This is what I use to wager all of my bets on, betonline.ag. If you hit that link, it'll help the show a ton. You can sign up. You get a 50% sign-on bonus up to $1,000. So if you put $100 in, you will get credited $150 in your account, up to $1,000. So if you put $1,000 in, you get $1,500 credit to your account. So click that link. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, you can use the QR code to the left. You can pull your phone up, the camera mode, click the link that comes up on the little QR code to the left, right below the betonline.ag graphic. All right, Neil, why don't you start them off, because I'm going to pivot off one if you pick it.
All right, I'll start the college game. I'll go Big 12. Kansas kind of hanging. They hung in last week, got a road win. Didn't they win?
They did.
Kansas got a road win. Now go back to Lawrence, a little momentum. They play Team Jekyll and Hyde, one team that's great at home and the opposite of great on the road.
Yep.
It's in Lawrence, so Kansas -3.5 at home against Texas Tech.
Yeah, this is the one I was going to pivot off of. Neil, this is one of my favorite bets of the week, even though I'm not going to put it on my sheet. I think that's a free dub for you. I love that pick. It's one of my favorite picks of the week, Kansas -3.5. I'm in 270% agreement with you. So if you're a bettor, that's a good one to get. I'm going to pivot off that. My first official pick.
Okay.
It's funny that I'm pivoting to this game, Neil. The Rutgers Scarlet Knights are traveling to Des Moines, Iowa, to take is it Iowa City? No, that's the other one, right? Where's Iowa?
I was in Iowa City.
Okay, they're traveling to Iowa City. I've been there actually. At 2:30 game on the Big Ten Network Saturday. Iowa is favored by 1 point, Neil. The over-under is at a historic low. It was historic low last week. It's even dropped lower. The over-under in this game is 28. That's right, 28.
It's unbelievable.
It's.
I mean,
seriously.
14-14 is a push.
Yeah. No,
17-14.
No, 14-14 is a dub because they're going to go to overtime. Somebody's got to win it.
Oh, that's true. But you understand my point.
Yeah.
16-13 is over.
It's a win.
It's
crazy, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
But Neil, look, I think Iowa's the better team. I don't know if the score is going to be 2-0. If it's going to be 3-1, I'm taking the Iowa Hawkeyes -1. They just basically have to win the game. Give me the Iowa Hawkeyes -1 at home in a barn burner at 2-0.
All right. I'm going SEC here. Ole Miss is traveling to Georgia on Saturday night.
You're breaking it out on game 2? On game 2?
Yep, that's on my list here because I'm still trying to decide on game 5. Ole Miss heads to Georgia Saturday night, 6 o'clock Central Time, ESPN. Ole Miss is an 11-point dog as of this moment, I think. 10.5, 11.
Yeah.
That's really not where I'm going.
Oh.
The over-under on this is 58.5 is where I've got it.
Okay.
And
I'll check and see if you got a better number.
Yeah, the line's 11. I've got 58.5. They're talking about rain, a lot of rain. Not your rain, not our rain, but precipitation rain.
No Red Dragon rain?
And I'm not 100% positive, but I think Ole Miss has a shakeup on its offensive line that I think is going to limit their running ability to some degree.
I will concur.
And if that's the case, I like the under 58.5 Ole Miss, Georgia.
Let me double check, make sure you don't have. You said 58.5?
Yes.
We'll see if we got it updated. I got the updates right here. I agree with you, Neil. Yeah, 58.5 is best number. I got 58 is fine. 58.5.
All right.
I agree 100% in this game. If this was a good weather game, I would have taken the over. That's where I was at the beginning of the week. That was probably one of my favorite bets. Then you get an offensive line injury. Now you got weather. It's going to be it's going to be an interesting game. I do think that Ole Miss has to score. I do think Georgia is going to score with what they do. I think it needs to be, considering the weather, I think it needs to be like a 27-24 type win for Ole Miss. I think they have to hold Georgia 24 points or under, and they have to score. I think it's there. I don't think this is going to be a 10-point, holding somebody to 10 points or something. I think Georgia's going to be able to move the ball.
I've gone to thinking this is more of a 27-17 or 27-20 game.
Yeah.
In the weather. And plus, especially if it's Georgia that has a lead, they're gonna get conservative in the weather. They're gonna try to run it, play. If they think they can stop Ole Miss, they're gonna eat some clock and those things.
Yeah, the weather changed my whole outlook on this game. I was even considering taking Ole Miss in the points in good weather because with it being even if it was 10 and a hook, I could see it being a 17-point game and Lane trying to close it, but it didn't. All right, Neil, my second game. I'm going to Orlando, Florida for my second game, Neil.
Okay.
In Orlando, Florida, the Oklahoma State Cowboys. This is a trap line if I've ever seen it, and I'm just going to fall into the trap. Oklahoma State, ever since they got their teeth kicked in by South Alabama, have been on a mission. They've got themselves way up in the CFP. They got a chance to win out and get in the Big 12 championship game. Give me the Oklahoma State Cowboys -2.5 on the road. I made this mistake 2 weeks ago by not taking West Virginia when they went and played UCF down there. And West Virginia was like 7-point underdogs, and they won the game by like 12, 14 points. I'm not doing it twice. Give me Oklahoma State -2.5 at Central Florida. The computers love Central Florida for some reason.
As you see, I had this on my list too, so I'll think about using a different one. But I'll go to my third pick here. I'll have to consider.
If you don't, we're good because I pivoted on one. I didn't want to have two.
Big Ten. I'm back in the Big Ten. Not Iowa though. Look, I'm probably going to end up hating myself on this, but I've watched these two teams. Michigan's a 4.5-point favorite at Penn State. That's where I've got the number as.
I got it at 4 right now. So if you're going that way. You going Michigan way?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4. Use 4.
The whole world's pissed Michigan off. They can truly do the us against the world stuff right now. Usually I kind of roll my eyes at that when coaches do it. I'm like, oh, stop. The whole world doesn't care. But in this case, everyone's really trying to get them.
Mm-hmm.
I just think Michigan's a lot better than Penn State. I don't think Penn State's going to be able to score many points against them. And I hadn't seen anybody act like they're going to really slow down Michigan. Give me Michigan -4. I think this has a chance to be kind of a blowout. I mean, when I say kind of a blowout, I mean 17 points, 20 points. I think Michigan wins comfortably.
At the beginning of the week, I didn't know what to do with this game. As the week's gone on, I've looked into it. I agree with you. That's also on my list. Obviously not picking it. I'll be doing it personally. I agree 100% with you. I think Michigan ends up I can see this being like a 10 or 14-point win by Michigan. Like a 24-10.
24-14, 27-14.
If you told me it went to 31-10, I wouldn't be surprised.
Not even a little bit.
But I agree with you there. All right, Neil. My third pick. There's a team that lost. I looked at this, and I encourage everybody. I didn't tell you this, Neil, but somehow or another in the last 2 days, I've managed to hit 2 back-to-back parlays in Maction.
Wow.
Nothing big. I just went 2.
Wow.
2 teamers, one on Wednesday. One
Maction's
on Tuesday.
hard.
But I got a little thing this time of year that I look at in college that actually helps me. And it's going to work in this game. You got a team traveling down to Houston called the Cincinnati Bearcats. They just lost their 7th game of the season.
Yeah, they're bad.
Which means they're 2-7. So they got to play 3 games with no hope. There's no end. It's ending.
Mm-hmm.
And you got Houston that's scrapping, trying to get to a bowl game. They're hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Big win on the road against Baylor last week in overtime. Houston Cougars are favored by 2.5 at home against Cincinnati. Give me the Houston Cougars.
Oh, that's a good one.
-2.5. I think Cincinnati's quit. They're 2-7, nothing to fight for, and Houston's only laying 2.5, and they got everything to fight for, trying to get to a bowl game, trying to save a job. Give me the Houston Cougars -2.5 at home against Cincinnati.
Okay, I like that. All right, I'm back to the SEC. Alabama heads to Kentucky on Saturday morning. It's noon Eastern, but 11 our time. I think it's the ESPN game. I think it's still 11. Is that right?
Yes.
Is that the number?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alabama's an 11-point favorite.
Oh, I may have you. better. Let me look. Go ahead while you're talking.
I don't get it. Yeah, I don't get it. I'll be honest. I've watched Kentucky play. They're fine. They're going to have a hard time scoring against Alabama. Alabama has figured it out on offense over the last few weeks. They looked like Alabama Saturday against LSU. And I realize that's LSU's defense. And Murray the Moose over there could score against LSU's defense. But Alabama's going to treat this like a playoff game because it is a playoff game.
100%.
If Alabama loses, even if they go to the SEC championship game and win it, they're not going to the college football playoff. Not as a 2-loss team. It's a playoff game. I like Nick Saban in playoff games. Give me Alabama minus the 11. I think they blow Kentucky out.
I'm in 100% concurrence with you. People are calling this a sleepy game. I just disagree, man. I'm with you. They got too much on the line. Things don't get sleepy. This is championship season.
Alabama doesn't go to sleep.
This is ring
that's
season.
not what they do.
It's ring season.
That's not what Alabama does.
I think they
when was the last time Alabama was real sleepy?
The only time that it ever happened when I was there, the only time was in the Sugar Bowl after we lost the Kick Six game. There was nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Like there's something to play for.
See, I don't even count bowl games.
Yeah, when there's something to play for. Back then, we actually tried. I mean, it wasn't like we didn't have all the opt outs back then.
I mean, bowl games are literally now about who wants it.
Yeah,
who's interested. Like the Ole Miss Texas Tech game last year. Texas Tech was interested in the game. Ole Miss was completely disinterested in the game. Yeah, it counts, but it doesn't count. It doesn't. I don't like. You can't judge much off that.
If you told me this was a 38-10 game, I wouldn't be surprised in the least.
That's what I think too.
Good pick there, Neil. I don't like that. I like all your picks, Neil. I don't like that. That's not good. I'm meaning to go book that appointment for the priest next week. All right, Neil. My fourth game. I'm staying in the SEC as well, Neil. There's a game up in Como.
Oh, I'm interested in this.
The Tennessee Vols are traveling to Como. And you know, right now, listening across the airwaves, we have a good friend named Cole Catalano, big Missouri Tiger fan. And any time that we mention the words Missouri, he just gets his fingers ready to just start clipping the shit out of it because he loves his Missouri Tigers.
He does.
And I got some close friends at Missouri.
Have been a good year at Mizzou.
Yeah, got some close friends. My man Jacob Peeler's a receivers coach.
Yeah.
My guy Kevin Peoples is a D-line coach.
Peeler's done a great job with Burden. I mean, that kid couldn't play at all, and then he gets to Mizzou, and suddenly he's like an All-American. It's
until
unbelievable.
Peeler got a hold of him.
Unbelievable job by Jacob.
You know what? Peeler's slick. Because Peeler will tell you, hey, it's about 10% coaching, about 90% recruiting.
Yeah.
He's done a good job of loading his old room up. But that's not where I'm going, Neil.
Coaching Burden's like, hey, the game's at...
There's an upside-down yellow H. Go hit that thing with the ball in your hand before your knee touches.
The game's at 2:30, but make sure you're there.
Neil, the Tennessee Vols are playing for hope. And you know what? That Ole Miss Georgia game is not until 6 o'clock. So when they kick this bitch off at 2:30, they think they semi-control their destiny going to Atlanta.
Sure, no, their plan is to win and cheer like hell for the Rebels.
They're favored by 2 points, and Neil, that is nowhere near enough.
Oh, wow.
Missouri got stung. Missouri is just the opposite. They got their hopes crushed. Now they have to have Georgia lose twice. Actually, 3 times. They can't make it. It's over. They can't get to Atlanta. They've lost to LSU. They've lost to Georgia. They can't get there. Give me the Tennessee Vols -2 in Como this weekend.
Okay. All right, so I'm trying to decide whether to take a different game for the sake of taking a different game.
Well, I pivoted earlier so we wouldn't have 2. So if you go with it, I'm good.
So the different game that I've thought about is Oregon -15 against USC because I think Oregon's going to score 50 points against the SC
That
defense.
may be the safest bet in the history of bets.
The question comes down to how many will USC score? And they're going to get in the 20s to 30s, I think.
They're going to score.
Yeah, they're going to score. I didn't think last week was the best look for Caleb.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
I'm not.
I will say this: where I disagree with a lot of people. People are like, "Oh, I'm taking him off my draft board." I'm not going that far. Yeah, I mean,
but it makes me want to spend some. If I'm going to draft him,
you could spin it though.
I need to spend more time with him.
You could also spin it like I'll tell you how people will spin it. The ones that draft him, they'll be like, "Oh, that just shows how much he cares."
Yeah.
You know, people will spin that shit. But I get it. I'm with you. I'm not taking. He's still damn good.
Oh no, he's very, very good.
And people they're like, "Oh, Caleb." The guy was unconscious Saturday. He played his ass off.
He did. And that's what scares me. And it's the reason I think I'm going to go to Oklahoma State. I'm going to take Oak State -2.5 at UCF. I just worry about USC playing to the end and making a 20-point game a 13-point game.
Yeah, that's got backdoor McCready written all over that one. I'd be scared of that one. Now, I will agree with you. I think Oregon wins the game. I think they're going to score at will. But that's got backdoor McCready written all over it, too.
Okay.
All right, Neil, hang on just a second. We got another special guest.
Oh, got a special guest. Oh, goodness. Wonder who it could possibly be. Oh, guess what? It's the Joker, everybody. Joker, welcome into the show.
Hello, Scoops.
Hello, Joker.
How are you doing today?
I'm great.
Here you got a headache.
We got a little bit of a headache. You
want
probably
some-
never have one of those, do you, Joker?
Never.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Neil, I'm back. I told you I'd be back. I'm back because I took a little trip to Boulder this weekend.
Again?
Or during this week.
You've
Yeah,
been there a lot. You probably
I've
have
been there
your
a
favorite
lot.
places there by now.
Been there a lot. A lot of mask wearing going on right now.
Yeah. Well, you never know when it's another variant's going to come out.
Yeah. You know, I go there because I wanted to do a little reconnaissance.
Oh.
Because they fired the offensive coordinator and they hired Pat Shermer because they needed to get a little more pro mindset.
Okay.
They needed to get a little. Deion's good on social media. He hears Lane with all the pro mindset and goes, "Hey, they're 8-1 using pro mindset."
Yeah.
So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go pro mindset. How can I go pro mindset? All right, I got this guy that's called plays in the pros. This guy's called plays at Kent State. Pro mindset. You're fired. You're hired. But you know what that doesn't do, Neil?
What's that?
That doesn't keep his kid from breathing out of his ear hole every 5 minutes because he's getting sacked.
It's true.
So, Scoops, also coming into Boulder this weekend is a team that has gotten better every single week. And they are kicking the shit out of everybody. And you know
Yes.
what's going to happen this weekend, Scoops?
What's that?
They're going to kick the shit out of Colorado. Give me the Arizona Wildcats. I can't see the damn line. I think it's -10.
I'll find it for you. I'll find it. I'll find it.
I gotta see, Neil. Hang on.
No, hold on. I've got it for you. Don't hurt yourself. It's going to be okay.
It's -10 at Boulder,
Yes.
taking on pro mindset.
Okay.
So we're going to do the Joker mindset.
It's -10.5.
I don't give a shit. Well, I'll take it at -10.5. It's not
Okay.
enough.
Okay.
It's not enough. Give me the Arizona Wildcats -10.5.
Okay.
Scoops, I'll see you Monday.
All right, Joker. All right. So the Joker picking Tyler's 5th pick, taking Arizona minus the 10.5 against Colorado. The Buffaloes, they're in Boulder. I've never been to Boulder. I can only imagine. I've heard it's very beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, in the Cooper Chevrolet chat, before we get to money lines, I'm kind of curious.
Mm-hmm.
So we got our good resident troll, Dwight. So Dwight, I don't know if his government name is Dwight or if his government name is Drew. Because what our good friend, what he doesn't realize is we're a little smarter than the average bear. He switches his names up in the chat.
Uh-huh.
And so after the show, I think at the end of the show, he goes and relogs in and it changes all his names. So he's either Dwight or Drew. It's the same person, just so everybody knows. Dwight and Drew are the same person. Oh, we got our good friend Brendan Chapman in the chat. He says, "Please make him stop, Mr. Neal." What's up, Brendan?
Brendan, you know I have no control.
Yeah. Brendan, if that's yeah, well, I'm not gonna say anything. We could get Brendan on here one day and have a good show.
That would be a good show.
We could break the internet with that one if we let him cut loose. All right, Neil, you know what time it is?
It is. It's money line
Money
time.
line time.
I'm looking for one more money line just to see it.
Okay.
Hold on. Somebody else just sent me something. Let me see this too.
Yep. Dwight is Drew. Drew is Dwight. Finkel is Einhard. Einhard is Finkel. Like, why would you do that? Just stick with your name. What are you going to be? Are you going to be Dwight or are you going to be Drew today? Just pick one. If you're going to be a troll. Don't be switching names. That's chicken shit.
All right. So I'm down to 2 money lines. One would rock the college football world. The other would just be a win. I'll tell you that I like both of these lines.
Okay.
I love Georgia Tech plus 14.5 at Clemson. Love it.
Ooh. As a line or
as a line.
Okay.
And frankly, I love Miami plus 14 at Florida State because I have a feeling Cristobal is going to get his guys to play this like the Super Bowl.
Look, and I'm just telling you, I have that written down as a money. That's one of my money line candidates, the Miami Florida State game.
Mhm.
You got to understand, people. You got to know Mario. Like, he's old school Miami. This is like the game. You know what I mean? Because when he was playing, Miami Florida State was the game. This is his Egg Bowl. This is his Iron Bowl. This is his deal. So I got that written down. I will bet that personally. I'm probably going to take the points, and I may even sprinkle money line on that game. He will have them ready to play against Florida State.
So, and I've had some success with money line. So both Georgia Tech and Miami ought to be calling me right now, going, "Do it, do it, do it," because somehow it's the only thing keeping me alive in
Scoops
this.
money line McCready.
It's the only thing keeping me alive in this. Or do you know which one you're doing?
Yes.
Go ahead. I'm still
Okay. Neil, my money line pick is not in danger of you picking it.
Okay.
There's a team that I have a friend that coaches that has been playing made a coordinator change. Has been playing really well. They went to College Station, played Penn State a couple weeks ago, gave them a scare. Gave them a 4-quarter game, gave them a scare.
Mm-hmm.
And they came back last week at home and beat Wisconsin. Well, they're going on the road this week as 6.5-point dogs. They don't need it.
Oh.
They're going to win outright. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers. They kind of got it clicking a little bit. Give me the Indiana, about 3 weeks of really good football. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers plus 210 on the road at Illinois.
Okay. I like that. I had looked at that one too. All right.
They've been playing since he's made the coordinator change. They've been scoring points on offense. Defense is really good, and it's giving their defense time not to be on the field the whole time. Illinois is going to be on and off the field. They're slow anyway. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think they win the game outright. All kidding aside, I like Indiana plus 210.
Okay. Just because here's why I'm doing this.
Okay.
I have a theory about the college football playoff.
You have a theory.
I do.
Okay.
Every year about this time, we go, man, there aren't going to be enough spots.
There is every time.
We do it every time.
Every year.
And we go, it's just not going to work. This is going to be the year that they get burned. Because 4's stupid. 8 would have made more sense. 12 makes lots of sense. But 4, when you had 5 Power 5 leagues, is stupid. But they've always gotten away with it. They've always gotten away with it. People like me have gone, please, football gods, let there be chaos. Please let there be chaos. So this stupid thing that they do where every Tuesday night in November, they trot this out for an hour so that week radio shows will have something to talk about. Please, sweet football gods, bring the chaos. And every year the football gods say, no. Every year,
They do.
the football gods say, we have heard your request. It has been denied.
It's kind of like an NCAA transfer
Yeah.
committee.
It's like,
It's the same committee that did Tez's to start with.
so they need some chaos right now.
They do.
Because right now, you have
getting a little tight, Neil.
getting a little tight. We seem to be headed towards a Georgia-Alabama SEC title game.
Yep.
Winner would get in. We seem to be headed towards a Big Ten deal where the winner of Michigan-Ohio State gets in.
Yep.
That's 2. We seem to be headed towards an Oregon-Washington Pac-12 matchup. Winner gets in. That's 3. Texas so far hanging in, and if Texas is a 1-loss Big 12 champ, they beat Alabama, they're in. Well, that's 4. What happens to Florida State? What happens to Florida State? I think they lose to Miami.
Ooh.
That's what happens to Florida State. And the football gods say, see, told you it would work out. It always does. So I'll take Miami plus 455.
Wow.
Against the Noles.
I'm gonna check, make sure we don't have you a good number. I don't want to cheat you. What time is that game?
I don't know.
There it is. What'd you have it at?
455.
How about this, Neil? I'm gonna give you 460 updated line.
Okay. All right.
Plus 460.
Okay. Why not?
I don't want to I don't want to make sure I give you all the opportunity. I do, but I think he's going to have him ready to play now.
It's going to work out for the committee. It always does. No matter how much you want controversy, no matter how much you want the thing to just fall the F apart, it doesn't. It's like the gods have gone, hey, you know what? You people deserve a break. We're going to make it work out for you.
How much more fun would it? I think you're getting a preview of it because I think you're going to have parity every year now with the portal and everything. Next year is going to be fun discussion with the playoff stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But next year you won't be able to go, boy, that 13th team, they got screwed. Nah, because they lost 2 or 3 games.
Yep. All right, Neil, NFL, let's crank it up so we can get to life advice.
Okay. You want me to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going with the hot team here against a beat-up team. I'm a little worried about this because I love me some C.J. Stroud, but I'm going to go Cincinnati -6.5. It sounds like Jamar Chase probably will play. I'm going to go Bengals -6.5.
I think we got a new line on that one. Let me check. Let me switch to NFL because I just wrote it down right before we started. From betonline.ag.
Okay. I'm still 6.5 on this one, but that's fine.
All right. 7.
Okay.
Because I'm going the other way. Neil, there's a little routine I've been doing here for the last 2 weeks. And that routine that I've been doing, I'm 8-1-1 in the NFL.
Yep.
And part of that routine includes this game.
Okay.
There's a game in Cincinnati this weekend. C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans are taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. 7-point line. Give me the Houston Texans +7 against the Bengals.
Okay.
On Sunday early. Pretty simple. That's just part of the formula. I'm sticking with it. 7 points is a lot of points. I just think I can see this being like the Seattle Seahawks game. I think the Bengals will win, but it'll be 4-3.
Oh, yeah, it could easily be a 4-point game. All right, I'm going to stay AFC North. Cleveland goes to Baltimore. Cleveland's getting 6.5. I think that line's big in these division rivalry games where everybody knows each other, hates each other. Give me Cleveland plus the 6.5 to cover. I think Baltimore wins, but I think Cleveland makes it a 4-point game.
Yep. Getting interesting because Baltimore's beating the shit out of everybody. They got nobody's talking about them.
They got it rolling. No, they got it rolling. They're top 3 team
with all
in the
the
league.
AFC junk. Nobody's talking about them. They're good. All right, Neil. I'm gonna go Sunday morning. The Patriots. I don't even know where they're playing. Do you know where they're playing this weekend? Is it Germany still?
I think it's Germany again.
The Colts and the Pats are traveling overseas, riding with a formula that's been 8-1-1 in the last 2 weeks. Give me the New England Patriots +1.5 against the Indianapolis Colts. New England Patriots +1.5. Check that. It's changed. Give me the New England Patriots +2.
Yeah, it's 2.
+2 against, which doesn't look good for me, but I'm still taking them. Pats +2 against the Colts.
The Green Bay Packers are headed to Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Packers are a 3-point favorite. That's not the point. 39 is the over-under. Kenny Pickett's going to play. So is Jordan Love. Under 39.
That's good. They're both going to play. Jordan Love's struggling, man. I think they're going to make a move. I think they're going to move on from him after this season. Watch. Keep an eye on that one.
Agreed.
All right, Neil. The Tennessee Titans are traveling to Tampa. Buccaneers struggle bus. The Titans have made a little quarterback change.
They have. Will Levis
playing out of his mind right now. Do you know why he's playing out of his mind? Because he's closing his eyes and throwing that shit up to D-Hop and listening for the crowd to roar. Give me the Tennessee Titans on the road +1.5.
Oh, okay.
At Tampa Bay.
All right. The Detroit Lions are heading across the country to play the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers never have a home field because they have no fans. You ever go to a Chargers game? I have not been, but I've watched on TV. There's more people cheering for the other team. There will be a lot of Lions fans.
America's team.
In Los Angeles. The Lions are giving 3 on the road, and they're going to cover it easy. Detroit blows out Chargers.
Yeah, good matchup. That's a good line. Detroit running the ball well. Jahmyr Gibbs. I like that. The Chargers are just Jekyll and Hyde, man. All right, Neil, sticking with the formula here. San Francisco 49ers are traveling to Jacksonville.
Oh, it's a good game.
The Jags have won 5 in a row.
Yeah, it's a good game.
The 49ers have lost 3 in a row.
Had a bye.
Had a bye.
Mm-hmm.
They both had a bye.
Yeah.
So, formula's in play. Give me the San Francisco 49ers -3.
Yeah.
They got to get right. I think there's pressure on. They know they have to play well. Give me the 49ers -3 against the Jags. The 49ers are getting a little snug over there in the NFC West. Jags are not so much.
Okay.
I like the 49ers -3.
My final NFL game, Kyler Murray is back this week for the Arizona Cardinals. That's according to Arizona newspapers, that Kyler is back this week. He's not on the injury report, so he's going to play. Heineke is still playing for the Falcons, which means they've improved offensively. The line on this game is Atlanta -2. That's not where I'm going.
Oh,
I'm going points here. I'm going the over 42.5. Over 42.5, Atlanta, Arizona.
wow. Where is it in Arizona?
In Arizona.
Okay.
Either way, you're not going to have to worry about weather
And
because they're both domes.
I think Connor's coming back too, running back. All right, Neil, I got 2 left on the formula today. But I'm going to stick with one that did me good last week.
Okay.
It's done me good, I think, 2 weeks in a row. Bet against them, or bet with them, bet against them. And I'm going to bet with them again. I've had them on the call sheet for 3 straight weeks, and the game they've been involved in has won 3 straight weeks. The New Orleans Aints are traveling to Minnesota. Josh Dobbs' honeymoon is over. Give me the New Orleans Saints -2.5 on the road at Minnesota. It's got to catch up with the Vikings. The Vikings cannot continue to play this well, as beat up as they are. It's just a matter of time. Saints have been playing better. They got what's my boy? Kamara back. Been playing a little better. Derek Carr playing a little better. I like the Saints here.
Okay.
-2.5.
All right.
On the road at Minnesota.
Okay.
So that is my 5, Neil.
Okay.
Real quick before we get to life advice, because that's coming up next, I'll let you pull those up. So I'm going to try to start doing this, and my guy Bob got me thinking about this. I forgot to do one last week. We did it 2 weeks ago, and it hit. We're going to do a little Thursday night McCready and Siskey parlay here. All right, so this is straight off betonline.ag. Neil has got the link in the chat. Y'all can click on, or you can go to our social media, Twitter, and Cole will have the link up there. You can also click on there to go. So here's what we're doing. We're going to do a little six-leg parlay tonight. I want to see what you think about this one, Neil, because I think this is like free money. Here it is. This is all player props. So Bob sent me one this morning. Bob's playing one that's like +600. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that. I want for fun. Foreman, running back for the Bears.
Okay.
+46 rushing yards. He's just got to get 46 rushing yards or more.
Okay.
All right. Chuba Hubbard has to get 30 rushing yards or more.
Okay.
All right. You with me so far?
Yep.
Bryce Young has to get over 11.5 rushing yards. So he's got to get to 12 rushing yards.
So far, that's the one I worry about just because of sacks and stuff. But go ahead.
All right. Receiving, Chuba Hubbard, over 15.5. It's going to be check down city tonight.
Okay.
Cole Kmet, tight end for the Bears, +28 receiving yards.
Okay.
And Hayden Hurst, tight end for the Panthers.
Former Bengal.
Over 17.5 receiving yards. He's got to get to 18 receiving yards.
Well, he'll do that.
+1,900 on that.
Oh.
+1,900.
I like it.
$10 wins you $190. So that's a +1,900 parlay, 6-leg parlay. And I'm going with it, dude.
Okay. That's good. Just $10.
$10.
Makes the game fun.
$10. I'm not betting the line because also this game also fell in the formula here that told me to take the Panthers +3. I'm not doing that, Neil. So just to make, and the college games suck tonight. So to make fun tonight, put $10 on it. We'll lose it, whatever. But it's +1,900.
Okay.
So $10 wins you $190 on that.
I like it. Our life advice is brought to you by, we'll have more information on Cole here soon. Cole Walters, State Farm.
Okay.
Dawsonville, Georgia, northeast of Atlanta. We'll get you contact information on all of those things starting next week. But Cole and his agency going to be sponsoring life advice here on The Big Show.
Just not life insurance advice.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
All right. Got a few of these. We're going to try to get through them. We can't go crazy like we did the other day, even though that was fun. All right. Topic of fall weddings been covered greatly over the years by you and Chase. It just so happens that my fiance and I will be driving from Memphis to the coast on Friday afternoon for a wedding. On Saturday, the bride and groom are both Ole Miss grads, come from Ole Miss families, and the bride was a sorority sister with my fiance. In addition, my sister is in the wedding. In total, I know 20 people who will be there. The wedding starts at 2, and it is a traditional Methodist wedding with the cocktail hour reception starting around 3:30 and is scheduled to end around 9 p.m. Now, obviously, the Ole Miss Georgia game is at 6 p.m. Since there will be a large contingent of Ole Miss fans at the wedding, I imagine I will not be the only person that is thinking about /concerned / anticipating the game. My fiance is a big Ole Miss fan too, but it is one of her good friends' weddings. In general, what is my play here? 2.5 hours is an ample amount of time for me to make my pleasantries, show face, etc. And I believe many of the men and women in attendance will have similar concerns. Thanks, and love the show.
Mine's easy on this.
I think mine is too.
So I'm going to give a semi-in-depth answer here. I think my man can accomplish a few things here. All right. One, the weddings first of all, it's a fall wedding.
Yeah.
Those should come with stipulations. Okay. You have to have, look, you're from the South.
Come on.
Look, that's just what we do.
Come on.
You can go out with the Joker and Gotham out there in Boulder, different things.
Could have waited a month. Could have done a December wedding.
So
everybody likes December weddings.
The fact that it's a really big wedding. Okay.
Yeah.
It's at 2:00. The reception starts at 3:30. Games at 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would use this as a double up. Okay. I would let my fiance know that, sweetheart, we're going to be there for 2.5 hours. So at 6:00,
unless they crank the TVs up,
no,
and all that stuff, then you can whatever. But they're not. They're going to have music and all that stuff, and so it's not going to be.
And you're going
to
have to talk to grandmas, uncles, third cousins, sisters.
Well, that's true.
That you've never met before, and you're going to get pulled away, and it takes your focus away.
Okay.
So my life advice here would be like, okay, he's not married yet. He's engaged to his fiance. So he has a chance here to really set the tone for his rest of his life here. Okay. And
hadn't he already sort of tossed that towel in
no,
the fall wedding?
You got to set the tone here. And here's the tone. It's like, hey, we're going to go to the wedding at 2. We're going to go.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
We're going to go.
You're
We're going to the
right.
reception for 2.5 hours.
You're right. This could be a test.
It could be a test.
This could be
right?
a test.
You got to know where the
test of the emergency broadcasting system.
100%, Neil. 100%.
Yes.
And at 6:00, we're going to watch the game, and for 2.5 hours now, you got to be all in. You can't be like distracted.
No.
You got to be all in.
You can't be Tennessee, Missouri.
No.
Sacrifice that.
Sacrifice
That's
that.
gone.
You got to pick your battles.
Yeah, you
pick your battles.
You are the fiance. You're holding her hand. You're going with her. You're saying
taking pictures.
Everybody, yes, absolutely.
You're meeting grandma.
Smile on your face.
Grandma, great to see you. I love the fruitcake. I love the fruitcake at holiday, grandma.
Locked in.
I mean, focused.
Locked in. 100%.
At 5:58.
Yeah. Because the game's not going to start right at 6.
You got about 6:07.
10 minutes.
Yeah, 6:07.
Yeah, you're good.
You're good. And if you get a swing, you get a stall, you may even get to 6:12.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
hey,
if you miss the first 5 plays, it's okay.
It's okay.
Right.
But you set the tone. We're giving 2.5 hours. I'm giving you my best 2.5 hours here, sweetheart. My best. And you have to do your best now. And you're going to go back. And if you do a really good job, okay, could be a fun night for you, boss.
Could be. She'll be excited. Y'all watch the football game
together.
Be cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That's my
agree on that one. All right. This one's a little more complicated. I'm at the point in my life where I hope to meet the one whenever that time comes, and I enjoy dating, getting married, and experiencing our primes together, traveling the world and being spontaneous before eventually having children.
Okay.
I'm currently 32 and single, but there is this girl that I have this weird on and off history with that dates back years. She's 29, so not that much younger. She was a high school friend's little sister, and we took a liking to each other, had a summer fling during college, and now we hang together whenever we are back in our hometown in Mississippi. He gave me a specific, but I'm not going to do that to you.
Okay.
She lives in another state out west. Again, I'm not going to be specific. I don't want to harm
Well,
anybody.
if it's from Boulder, we got to have a conversation.
Well, it's Colorado.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
I'm joking.
But her family is still here in Mississippi, and she comes home often. We've never been official, but when she's home, she asked me to come hang with her and her family. Obviously, we have our time alone as well, and it's the best.
Okay.
The problem is, I know this is never going to become serious. I also don't like the vibe of being the guy around her family that is never going to be anything more than someone that their youngest daughter, little sister, is experiencing drawn-out limerence from. Like, when we go do our own thing together, they can fill in the blanks of what's being filled in. The physical attraction and chemistry is hard to get past, but I know she isn't future wife or mother material. It isn't love, and I accept that it's never going to be love. I'm having a hard time letting go of this sure thing that is really fun when we get together. Do I keep partaking until I meet someone that I enter a serious relationship with, or do I end it so I have nothing to distract me from meeting someone else? If you need a picture of her to understand why I'm in a conundrum, let me know. I have requested said picture.
Do you got it?
I don't.
Because this is going to change a lot of things for me right now.
I don't have the picture. Let's assume.
All right,
assume.
is she cat hot or is she snake hot?
Let's assume, for the sake of the picture, that she's cat hot.
Okay. I can't believe this should have, like, we should have a new rule when it comes to life advice. Anything that has to do with this for relationship advice should require pictures, headshots, preferably.
Or whatever. Send what you got.
My wife's going to be like, who are all these people sending you pictures on your phone?
Yeah, who are all these women?
Yeah.
I'm trying to help people, Aaron, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll let you take first crack at this one. I got a strong opinion on this one. Mine's easy.
Look, I think this sucks, what I'm about to say for you. I really do. But if you think she's a distraction and she's stopping you from maybe attacking this I want to find a wife thing, then she probably is. I'm going to guess that you've got a little more feelings for her than you're letting on, or even that you know. Because if every time you come home and she rings the bell, you answer, yeah, she's a distraction. Now, look, here's the thing. I'm gonna keep this real. I'm gonna keep this real. I am. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna give real life advice. Now, I personally think, based on my life experiences, that wouldn't be a distraction for me, and I could continue to partake, using his words. But the fact that he's asking this question makes me think that he's concerned that this is a distraction. And if you think it is a distraction, it kind of is. Now, he's 32. Not old.
No.
Not old. But you're 32 years old. I quote, ready, really hoping to meet the one that where he can enjoy dating her, getting married, experiencing their primes together, traveling the world, and being spontaneous before eventually having children. Got to get moving on this. Time's a ticking.
Yeah, because at this pace, you got two. I mean, if you got married tomorrow, you're talking about not having kids till your late 30s.
Yeah, you want to get moving on this.
Yeah.
So if she's a distraction, even if she's a really fun, hot distraction.
Is she cat hot or snake hot?
Well, we're going with cat hot.
We're going
here.
cat hot. Cat hot. Okay.
I mean, snake hot's like Kate Upton / supermodel hot, where it's so hot that you're going to ignore the fact that there's a Burmese python in the room. Okay.
That's what my man Bob says. He says, fuck the snake.
Well, you might have to. I mean, you might have no choice. Or it just might be reversed, if
Bob
you
sent
will.
me the other day. Bob sent me something like Kate Upton equals, I don't see a snake.
That's my thoughts. Yours?
All right. So I side with you. I would have no problem distinguishing between what
Friends with
benefits versus
and the one.
The one. If it is really that, if a friends with benefits relationship is distracting you from finding somebody else, that simply means he does have feelings for
Yes,
her.
100%.
Period.
100%.
He didn't have to say it.
Right.
If a friends with benefits relationship is distracting him from even finding someone, that tells me that he has feelings for this girl.
Agreed.
All right.
1,000,000%.
All right. My honest advice, I'll tell you the Joker's advice in a minute, but my honest Tyler advice would be to communicate. And so I would go to said girl and say, look, and be honest, because you have nothing to lose anyway, because he's talking about cutting it off anyway. There is nothing to lose here. He's already willing to get rid of the friends with benefit relationship for distractions. So at this point in his life, he's 32, like we talked about. You say, you just be honest with her, tell her how you feel, and you will know right then whether she wants to pursue something or not. But you can't, in my opinion,
because there's a chance she's wanting to pursue something, but she doesn't think he does.
Yeah, look, I've learned this through a long time of being with my wife. Don't try to be a mind reader. Okay,
true.
It does not work out.
That's true.
Okay, that's honest. And I've been with my wife.
We've had this conversation before. Men and women don't think alike.
Don't think anywhere close.
No,
to the same.
we don't think alike. Women think men think. There's that meme where a couple's in bed and they're back to back, kind of,
Yeah.
And she's like, he's thinking about other women or whatever, and he's thinking about like pizza. Or
football.
What are the Bears going to do Sunday? Right? I mean, he's not. We're a little easier to please, if you will.
Yes.
I think there's no question about that.
Yes.
There's a reason it all kind of works out this way. But there's a decent chance that if you had this and you're right, it's a good point. If you're already thinking, hey, this is a bad distraction and I need to move on from it, if you say to her, I think I kind of have some feelings for you and this is sort of a distraction, and she says, look,
I do too.
She says, look, Johnny, no way. Okay, well then problem solved.
Yeah, problem solved. Move on to the next one.
But if she says, I do too, I was afraid, then y'all have a different conversation to have.
What you don't want to do is have regrets, especially this late in life. So my honest advice, a real person, what I would give my friends, you go talk to the girl, have a conversation with it. And it's not over text, okay? He's kind of in that fringe age of texting and all this stuff. You have a conversation with her face to face, whether it be on FaceTime or whatever. You have a face to face conversation with her about it, and then you decide what to do to move on. Because obviously he has feelings for her. That's easy in the reading. I can read through that. Now the younger dog, if you were 22 or 23, I'd say I'd just you'd ride it out. But at your age,
he's 32.
He's 32.
There's a difference.
Big difference in age.
Big difference. If you're 23, 24 years old and you're just having some fun and it's harmless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have the conversation with her.
This doesn't sound like it's completely harmless. It sounds like every time it happens, it's kind of a setback.
Yeah. And then I'm going to venture to say this too. Women to have that kind of how did he describe what did they do? What's the word he used?
I'm looking.
Not situations, but things they did.
Talk about the attraction and the chemistry.
Yeah, and what they did in their alone time. He described it as something.
Oh, obviously we have our alone time as well. It's the best. Refers to it as drawn out limerence. Let's see. Obviously we have our.
He's an educated man.
He is an educated man. That is never going to be anything more than someone that their youngest daughter, little sister, is experiencing drawn out limerence with.
Okay, well,
like when we go do our thing together, they can fill in the blanks of what's being filled in.
If she's doing that with him, women don't do that without having an emotional attachment. Very few.
Yeah, I mean,
especially somebody that's awful.
I'm not a woman. I don't know.
Well, I can.
Yeah, but my life.
That's fact.
My life
Scientific
experience.
fact.
My life experience says that that's a fairly rare phenomenon.
Scientific fact. Most women have to have an emotional connection. Men have to have a physical connection. Scientific fact.
I believe that to be basic. 99% true.
Yeah, most of them. So I would say, considering it's been going on for a while, she has some kind of.
I had a year in Monroe that was a different year that took me a while to go, oh, that, hey, Neil, that wasn't normal.
Yes. I said most. I didn't say all.
That was psychotic.
I said most, not all. And if she has cats, run. I'm joking. I'm joking. Snort the Claritin. All right, what you got next? Hey, have the conversation and let us know back how it went. I'm curious.
Yeah.
We need to do some updates too, life advice updates.
We're going to have to do updates. You sent me the other one, so I'm searching.
Yeah, this was a quick one.
Yeah, I'm searching. This is good. All right, here we go. Life advice. I'm having my first kid in June. This is a male, by the way. What is your best advice for a first-time parent? Thanks, and go dogs. The way he spells it, I think he means Georgia dogs.
Yeah, I took that as Georgia Bulldogs.
Okay. Having my first kid in June. What's your best advice for a first-time parent? Thanks, and go dogs.
So we got a Georgia fan with some life advice here.
Okay.
First of all, congratulations.
Absolutely.
You just found out doing the math. He just found out. Since it's June, he's got time. All right. First thing, male response: get sleep.
Yeah.
Get sleep because it's going to change. Babe, here's my advice.
She's about to get your wife is about to get really weird for a while. Deal with it.
Yep.
Deal with it.
Hormones are a motherfucker.
You made it an hour. Good for you.
I think I dropped one earlier too.
Okay.
I apologize. Mom's not listening. Hopefully by now. Serious. Babies don't break. That'd be advice to me.
Oh, that's a good one.
Babies don't break.
They're not as fragile as you think.
Like your first kid, you're like, oh my God, you're like literally passing the baby off and all that stuff.
The 400 smocks that your wife is going to want to buy, you will never use them
ever again.
You need to try your best to win those battles in a way that in a way that allows you to stay in the house. You're going to lose a few of those battles, but try to win a few because otherwise you'll be broke.
Babies are expensive. Kids cost roughly, I've done this calculation, by the way. Kids will cost you roughly $1,000 a month for as long as they're on this planet.
Never done the math, but I'd have to think out loud. But
about $1,000 a month out of your paycheck, not pre-tax. That's about what they cost because you're paying diapers and formulas that turn into daycare, that turns into regular food, that turns into cars, that turns into college. $1,000 a month is about what you'll pay by the time you get done paying for their college.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's probably about right. So
here's some other advice for you. First time father, go ahead right now. Don't know where you live. A fact that new parents don't know and they don't realize it till it's too late. If you're going to put the baby in daycare, go ahead and get on the waiting list now.
Right now.
If you haven't done it, you gotta go now.
Go right
like Monday.
Put the deposit down if you have to.
Whatever
it's worth it. Whatever you got to do.
Because getting into a good daycare is important.
And then the basic stuff. People ask parenting questions. A lot of being a dad, seriously, is being present. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
It makes a world of difference. And I'm not realizing it until late in life, but it makes a lot of difference.
Being present. Being dialed in. Go when he or she has soccer or t-ball or whatever, just go. Be there. And look, if little Johnny's going to become a major leaguer, he's going to do it. Don't do that. When they're little, just
let them play, man.
Have fun, man. Let them play. I had someone ask me in a mailbag today, should I push him into sport? Should I push him into golf, or should I push him? And the answer to that is, look, you can expose them to a lot of stuff, but they're going to like what they like. They're either going to like music, like they're going to want to play a guitar or a piano or whatnot, or they're not. Like Carson, I've tried 15 times to get Carson to go play golf. He don't want to play.
No.
I've told him, I'm like, hey, business deals get done on golf courses. You know what he does? Hey, Dad, I'm going to go kick for a while. He's just going to go kick. He's going to go play soccer. That's what he's going to do. Why? Because he loves soccer.
Yes.
That's why he plays, which is the reason to play. It means that when they have soccer practice, he never comes home from practice going, I hate this stuff. He loves it. So good. But my point is your kids are going to be different. They're all going to do their own things. I've got 2 girls that couldn't be any more different.
I do have one more bit of advice that nobody tells. I'm trying to give advice that nobody tells.
Yeah.
That you think about.
Yeah.
In the event.
Oh, I thought of one, by the way. Go ahead.
In the event, which it happened to me not once, but twice, 2 of the 3. In the event that you have to participate in the child labor by holding a leg, don't look. Don't look.
That's a good point.
Just Hey, keep your eyes. Look, I'm being serious, and this is not a joke. Keep your eyes focused on your wife. Right? Just look at your wife in the eyes. I did not follow that advice on my first one nor my second one.
Did you pass out?
Nah, no, not that.
Okay.
But it's different, and I could not
Change the game for a
change.
while.
Let me tell you what changed the game for me. I'll tell you what changed the game is when the doctor handed me the scissors and wanted me to cut the umbilical cord. Not what you think in all of your life. Like, you have time to think, hey, I'm going to cut the cord.
No.
When that umbilical cord comes out, it is the most veiny, like you see it's the most alien thing you've ever seen in your life. The most perfect 90-degree angle cord you've ever seen in your life, and but it looks alive. And you're like, I couldn't do it. I was like, hey, like,
Oh, really?
hell no.
That was not an issue for me.
And so
I only got to do it one time.
the doctor clipped it and cut it, and just it looked like somebody like stabbed somebody in the jugular vein, man. Just oh, dude, don't do the just don't look, man. Just keep your eyes focused up top.
I didn't have that issue.
Let them do the business.
I didn't have that issue.
Oh, I did.
I only got to do it one time.
I did.
Because Campbell was like, it was not smooth, and Carson came out so fast that it was like panic.
Yeah.
Caroline was the one that everything went like clockwork, and I got to do that. It was like one of the highlights of my life.
So you enjoyed cutting the umbilical cord?
Yeah.
It did not freak you out what it looked like?
Easily one of the highlights of my life.
Yeah. No, one of the highlights of my life, Neil, is not cutting the umbilical cord. Like that one, that was, I literally felt like I was going to kill her. It was that scary. Even though I know it's not, but
I just
in that moment, I was like,
the doctor, I let him sort of guide me along. I was fine. Here's some advice now. When they're little, like not right away, but when they start doing the finger food, like you got to cut up like a peanut butter sandwich or the chicken tenders and stuff, don't eat the leftovers. You'll put on 20 pounds like that. Like that.
You're gonna put on weight.
Oh, and when your wife,
during pregnancy,
when your wife does the pregnancy thing,
I was a sucker.
You got to be disciplined, because when she goes and gets whatever, because she's got you
got to be disciplined.
You're not pregnant. You're not having cravings. You just nope. That's nuh-uh. You're just gaining weight. Yeah, you're just gaining weight.
I did that. I can't remember which one it was that she had cravings on, but I was crushing with her. I remember it was Sonic, like the Blast, what they call them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Blizzards, whatever it is. Dairy
Queen Blizzards.
Dude, I was
Sonic Blast.
Crushing. But yeah, no, that's that'd be my get sleep.
Yeah, get sleep, because
they're not gonna break. They're expensive.
You're not gonna sleep as much when they first come.
Yeah.
Hey, gonna be a minute.
If you're gonna spend money on diapers. Do not get the cheap diapers.
No.
You get cheap because, I mean, it's worth spending money on the brand name diapers. It's kind of like when you get a non-brand name paper towel and it doesn't clean up the whole mess. Very similar.
We got one of those jog strollers. I remember liking the jog stroller.
Yeah, technology's...
It's cool now.
It's cool now.
Yeah, you probably do anything now.
Yeah.
We had a jog stroller. That was fun. Those were fun days.
Yeah.
Those were fun days. That was missing as much of that as I missed is a life regret. And I knew it at the time. I was like, man, this is brutal.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard to leave 2003, that fall. Campbell was 2, which is like a magical time. Caroline was 6, 7 months old, and I'd have to leave for 5 days.
Yeah.
That was brutal. Brutal. And I'd come home and I'd tell them, just let me move. That was life mistake. That was when we should have moved to a different place. But you're like, well, what about the kids and the schools and the daycares? And it'll work out.
It'll all work out. That's all I got today, boss.
All right, that's our life advice.
Don't forget the parlay, 1900.
Cole Walters. We'll have more about Cole and his agency to you here in the coming days.
Appreciate you, Cole.
Absolutely. Thanks, Cole. We've been brought to you by Reign Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, and zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out at Reign Body Fuel to learn more.
Neil, I noticed in the Cooper Chevrolet chat that our good friend Dwight, after we called him out, he's disappeared.
No.
So we called on to him, so we may not have a troll anymore. I know that hurts your feelings.
Well, that makes me sad.
All right, but I want to remind everybody in the Cooper Chevrolet chat that Cooper Chevrolet has just received 15 brand new 2023 Chevrolet Tahoes discounted up to $4,000 off MSRP. Make sure you check them out at cooperchevrolet.com or call 256-236-4481. Tell them you heard about them on McCready and Siskey. Will help us out a ton. When you call, make sure you tell them you heard about McCready and Siskey. 256-236-4481.
Lots of stuff coming on MPW Digital the rest of the day, starting at 3:45. Pete's Pigskin Preview, presented by Riverland Roofing. He'll get you ready for Ole Miss and Georgia. Chase and I will be here around 5 o'clock for a hand raised, guys, presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. After we leave, it'll be the Butcher versus the dance instructor. Greg Jones, Caroline McCready make their picks. Greg 6 games over 500. Caroline's like 18 over 500. It's insanity. So you can get her picks, because if you've been going with Caroline, you're hitting it like a 57% clip on against the spread.
Surely that's got to catch up, right?
You would think.
What did she do last year? She won last year,
This is
right?
her first year.
Oh, it was your
This
other
is
daughter.
season 4. Campbell beat Greg 2 out of 3 years. 1 year with a monumental number. It was like, this is insanity. Total insanity.
Pick a number.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, that comes to you at about 7, and then following that show, it'll be the Oxford Exxon Podcast Extra Edition, 2.5-hour show. 2.5 hours. Mike Griffith of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution joins.
That's why you got a headache.
It's been a week, man. Roddy Nabulsi, the publisher
Really
of
good.
UGA Sports. Yeah, Roddy has worked at ESPN. Roddy's big time.
Stud.
So Roddy joins, and then our weekly visit with Ben Mintz of Barstool Sports. We'll talk about Ole Miss, Georgia, some SEC games, and the week ahead in the National Football League. So until then, thanks to everybody for being in the stream. Stay with us throughout the day here on MPW Digital. For Tyler, I'm Neil. Talk to you on Monday.